You're live.
Hey everybody! Happy sweltering Tuesday. It's warm again, isn't it? It's really warm out there. It's lush. I love the heat, but this might even be a bit warm for me in this country. I haven't got the sea to get into or a pool to get into. It's not on, is it? I love it when it's hot, but yeah, I want to be abroad when it's hot. I want to be on a beach. By the weekend, have a nice little dip in the sea and cool off. Not sweltering in the shop. It's absolutely boiling in the shop today. It's like no air, and it's because we haven't really got any proper windows in the back or anything. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great working conditions, to be honest. And nobody's coming in to see us because who would want to? Who would want to venture out in this weather? So it's been quiet. It hasn't been quiet today, but it's meant we've managed to get sorted a lot of stuff ready for Festive Quilts next week, which is really good. So Drew's helping me today. Who's coming online, Drew?
We've got Eileen, Carolyn, saying hello so far. Hi
Eileen, hi Carolyn. Hope you're all in one piece and not a little melty puddle somewhere. We've done all the packing for Achanda, which is brilliant. We managed to go whip through that yesterday, which was amazing. It's normally like a 2-day job, but we were on fire yesterday, literally. We were on fire yesterday and got it all done. We overcut some of the kits, so we've got 7 left of the Moonlight Serenade kit, which is this one that Sarah took on. The lovely Dawn made this for us. She did a beautiful job on the sample. So she made this one for us, but I've got 7 of the kits left, so I've popped them onto our own webs because it's sold out on Achanda. So I know there was one lady who rang and asked for one, but the number that you gave me I can't get through on. It's just saying it's a dead number. So so if you were one of them, I've put one aside for you because you rang yesterday, but I've got 7 left if you want them. They're in the kit section on our website. They do make a really beautiful quilt. Really beautiful, and it'd be nice. You could play. We're gonna have a little play with some free motion in a minute, but you could then practice your free motion embroidery and all around here if you wanted to, or just pick out some of the elements and stuff. Nice and easy to do as well. So kits are available if you want them. There's not many left, like I said, 7 left. So what other news is there? Booked the van ready for festival. That got done this morning. Yeah, not much going on. I think everybody's gone into hiding. They're all hiding in their house because it's so flipping hot. So anybody else there? Anybody else having a chat before we get started?
Sandra says hi.
Hi Sandra.
Elaine says hi.
Hi Elaine.
Heather. Carolyn says Jacob is waving at you.
Ah, bless. Hi Jacob.
Linda says hi.
Hi Linda. Hi. Hello everybody. Fabulous. Hi Heather. So I thought we'd make. So I'm always looking for ways of using up little scraps and stuff, like tiny little bits and things. And I thought we'd make some of these little lavender pouches, except mine aren't lavender because I hate the smell of lavender. Mine are actually, I've used essential oil in mine. So mine are Nerolian orange because that's the smells I like. Don't like the smell of lavender at all. But they're ideal for little lavender pouches that you could then hang in your wardrobe to scent your clothes. You could use any sort of essential oil in them, or you could actually put like potpourri or something in them. Now we're gonna do 2 versions. We're gonna do a little felted one, which is all just straight stitching, so you could hand stitch them or just machine stitch. And then I was having a play around last night, and I thought we could do these free motion as well, free motion embroidery. And we haven't done any of that for ages, so I thought it'd just be nice to have a little play around with those as well. I've done a little template. It's on the website, which has got all your measurements and everything in the template for the house and the roof and stuff. It's £1 on the website because it's only one single sheet, just to cover our digital costs. Okay, so it's in the digital download section if you want a little template to make some of these. I do think they'd be quite nice. You could do them like Christmassy as well. I mean, I've done this one very simply, but you could add more into it. You could make them like little Christmas houses, like little gingerbread houses, hang on the tree, and you could maybe put like spiced orange or cinnamon smells in them, ready for Christmas. If you put citronella in them, you could hang them in your windows to try and keep the flies away and stuff. Just that gentle, smell going. What's the one that's supposed to keep spiders out of the house? There's a scent that's supposed to keep spiders out of the house. If you don't like spiders, they don't bother me. But if you don't like spiders, you could mix them and hang them around. I just thought they were a really nice little cute way of using up all those tiny little scraps of fabric that you don't want to get rid of. So I've got little templates here. We're going to do the little felt one first because it's really quick. We'd be done in about 10 minutes, so I thought we'll do the felt one first and then we'll do the free motion one. Again, use any colour felt that you like. So I'm going to go over here a little bit. I've pulled out a scrap box, one of my many scrap boxes. So do you want to just move that out of your way, lovely, so you can, yeah, there you go. Just I thought I can pull out some of my favourite sort of things and everything. You're going to use the little house template, pop it down like that. I'm going to pop a pin in there just to hold it all down, and then we're going to draw around it. Okay, so I'm going to just use a Fix-On pen just to draw around it. You could just line up your ruler, I suppose, and cut around it if you wanted to. I'm a bugger for cutting my templates though. If I do that, I always end up trimming the paper template down loads. So I'm going to do that on the felt, nice and quick and simple, like that. And then we're going to cut 2 out. So I'm going to pin that together again and cut 2 out. Anybody there having a chat? Anybody? Oh, actually, I might pink and shear this one. Should we pink and shear this one before I start cutting? That would give it a nice different edge, wouldn't it? That's what I'm thinking about it. There we go. Anybody there, groups?
Marie thinks witch hazel is for spiders, but she just says
right.
chestnut for spiders.
Yeah, I know conkers are supposed to get rid of spiders, aren't they? But can you get essential oil in conker smelling or horse chestnut? Maybe. Could do. I'll have to have a look at it. But I just thought that, you know, or just, you know, with a smell that you like, you know, rather than buying, you know, the air freshener plug-in things and stuff, you could put some essential oils in these and hang them around the place and they would just scent the air nicely. So, got a back and a front for our little house. And then you've got a little roof template, which I then get to play around. So I decided last night, I pulled some of my scraps out. I'm going to use this little bit here for his roof. Okay, on this one. All right, so again, you could fussy cut this, I suppose, if you wanted to, if you really wanted to get, you know, a certain piece in. I'm not going to, I'm just going to go for it. Just, you know, these are, again, good little stocking fillers. You could fill them with all sorts, couldn't you?
Only 7 degrees in South Africa. Right?
It's what, lovely?
7 degrees.
It's only 7 degrees in South Africa.
Karen says it's 7 degrees.
It's 32 degrees here in Dinas, Paris today. We checked the thermometer just before I came out and we were like, wowzers, that's warm. So apparently they've issued an extreme weather warning, which is the first time ever for Britain. So it's funny, isn't it? We go on holiday, you know, we'll go over to Greece or Spain or something, quite happy with the like 30, 35, well I am anyway, you know, degrees. And then in this country though, it seems to be a different type of heat. It's much more sort of like humid and sweaty, isn't it? So I'm just going to, again, cut out that little roof. Okay, like, oh, there we go. Cut out the little roof, and that's going to sit. Now you could do this back and front if you wanted to. I'm just going to do it on the front for this one today. So my little roof's going to sit on like that. I'm going to use a little bit of a fabric glue just to hold it in place like that and stick that down. Make my little roof like that. There we go. And then you want to cut yourself a little door. And I've just realised I've dropped my ruler, so I'll grab that ruler. And what should we have? Should we have a red door? Go through my box, but I've got the red here, so we'll have a little red door. For the door, you want to cut a 1 inch by 1.5 inch little square. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that very quickly. So, is that? There we go, cut that down there. Oh, 1.5 by 1, I said, didn't I? So, cut myself a little door out my scraps. It's 1.5 that way by 1 that way, so it's, you can see we're using tiny little bits up, but if you're one of those people that keep all those tiny bits, these are perfect. And then you want to decide where you want your door, so I'm going to have this one just off to that side a little bit, and again a little bit of glue on the back like that, and pop that on like that. Okay, just hold that in place. You could pin it if you haven't got the glue. I just find the glue's easier. I then want to decorate him up. Okay, so this one I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to, with a Fix-On pen, because it'll iron off afterwards. We're going to do a big window like this on this one, rather than 2 little windows. I'm just going to literally draw in a big window like that. Okay, so there we go, like that. All right. You want to do just a little bit of stitching on this one first before we put the back on. So we're going to take it over to the machine in a second. I'm going to do it in black because I like that sketchy, looks like I've drawn into them look. And I'm just going to stitch round the outside of the door like that. And then I'm just going to stitch round the roof. And then we're going to follow those lines just to put that that window in. Okay, so over we go. So talk to me please, my lovelies. How are you all? Is everybody surviving okay? I'm just going to start by going around my roof. I've put like an open toe foot on so I can really see where I'm going. That does help a weeny bit. But again, these are really scrappy. The whole idea is you're just using up tiny little bits on this, and they're very fast to do. But we're going to try one free motion in a minute. I'm going to show you how to put your free motion foot on, if those of you are worried about it. And then drop my feed dogs, and we're going to have a little play with an embroidery one too. And then we're going to go down this side.
Heather says there's a gentle breeze here in the hot I can never say that.
Aberystwyth?
Yeah, I can never
Can't say that word.
Which is really perfect under the parasol hand stitching this afternoon. Oh,
lovely. Lovely. It's almost a bit too hot for sewing, isn't it? Unless you can get in the shade and, you know, and do something outside, which would be nice, wouldn't it? So, and then I'm going to go up. I'm not going to go all the way around the door. I'm just going to go around 3 sides because we're going to close the bottom up later, so that will close up the door. But you could hand stitch these. You could hand embroider them. You could make, you could do like little garden flowers and all, like use a lazy daisy stitch and all, and you know, do some hand stitching on them if you want a little project to do while you sat out in the garden. There we go. So that's my door on. So how are you all surviving? Is it lots of ice cream, or are you do you subscribe to the cup of tea cools you down school of thought? And then I'm just going to follow those lines that I drew to put my window in. Anybody there having a chat?
She's practicing spinning.
Oh, amazing! Oh, I've got an old school friend of mine, Sally. She does spinning, and she's an amazing knitter as well. I mean, she does stuff that I wouldn't, you know. I mean, I can crochet. I'm a really competent crocheter, and I can knit. I do knit. I love to knit socks. But she does all these amazing, like, fair-isle yoked jumpers and everything. I mean, so intricate, the stuff that she does. It's amazing. There we go. So I'm going to go around the outside
Susan says round trees, ice lollies.
Ah, yeah. Oh, I love an ice lolly. Rather than ice cream, I do like an ice lolly. Favourite ice lolly from your childhood? Mine were always mini milks. A vanilla mini milk. Still love them now. You don't get them very often, but
you can't find them anywhere.
No. I used to love a mini milk. Here we go. I'm not being particularly neat with this. I'm just following my lines. Sorry, it's not very interesting for you to watch. You're right there, Grooves. Having a sneeze. That might be the essential oils. There we go. And then right across the middle, just to make some windows. Looks like little windows then. I'm not sure this does actually look like windows, but it'll do. It's only a little lavender bag. No, you could absolutely, like we're saying, put lavender in these. I don't like the smell of it. It's not my cup of tea. It's too I don't know. Just it makes me don't like the smell of lavender at all. Okay, so done any, and then you would do any other embroidery. So you, like we say, you could stitch some little flowers. You could cut out some flowers maybe from some fabric and all and stick on there. You could, you know, stitch in a doorknob. You could put curtains in if you wanted to. You can make these as simple, as intricate as you like. I'm going to give it a little press just to get rid of that Frixion pen, and then we can put them together. Okay, so I'm going to pop the back on like that. Okay, so I've just popped the back on there, and you want a little piece of ribbon to hang it up. So I've got some nice skinny little 3mm ribbon, and you want it about 6 inches. That should do it for just for a little hanger. Okay, pop a knot in the bottom like that. That's what I was going to do. I was going to show you the ribbon method, me using ribbon. I'll try and do that for tomorrow for you. You know, when I struggled to turn that tube through. I knew there was something else I was going to do today. Totally forgot about it. Right, okay, you're going to sandwich sandwich your little knot of your ribbon in the top there, like that. Just make sure it goes down a weeny bit so you're not sewing directly through that knot. And then I'm just going to pop a pin in just to hold all that in place. If I can, hang on, let's get my fingers out of the way. There we go. So that ribbon's coming out the top. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to straight stitch all the way around. I'm going to try and follow that line and come down there as well, but I'm not going to stitch the bottom. Okay, so oh, I've just got caught on my dress. It's because it's really long. There we go. So I'm going to start one side. I'm sewing about a little bit shorter than 1/4 inch, about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Again, these don't have to be, you know, super detailed or super neat. The whole idea is that, you know, they're just little things to hang up with a little bit of prettiness. I'm going to take that pin out now so I can get round that ribbon. There we go. And turn and pivot there and come back down the other side, stitch that ribbon in. Super, super fast and simple little things to make. Come off the end. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of those little ends there and there. Get rid of that one there. And then I'm using just a little bit of toy stuffing. Now, if you wanted to, you could fill this with dried lavender. Okay, you could fill them up with dried lavender, or you could put some potpourri in there and then a little bit of wadding, or like I'm going to do, I'm going to use some stuffing. You know, we cut up duvets. We buy cheap duvets and rip them apart. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But what I'm going to do before that is I'm going to add on some essential oil. Okay, so just a couple of little squirts of the essential oil, and I'm going to move that into the centre. See, I love the smell of that. I love neroli and orange. It's my one of my favourite smells. And then I'm going to shove this in here, okay, and stuff this. Use my scissors, get that up into the roof a little bit, like that. There we go. You don't need to overstuff them. And then I'm going to do another bit on this one. Okay, just turn that into the centre a little bit so that it's, you could use scraps of fabric rather than wadding, I suppose. You know, any bits that you are just too small for sewing with, you could use scraps of fabric, couldn't you? Okay, so get that in there like that. There we go. So see, what's that, 10 minutes I've been sewing? That's why we're going to have a go at the free motion as well. Okay, and then we're just going to pinch that edge closed. Okay, pop a pin in there just to hold it all closed, and then I'm going to stitch right across the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to pop a pin in there, and I'm going to stitch right across the bottom just to close it all up. But you know, you could take Sharpies and stuff, you know, or something, some fabric markers, you know, and so, you know, draw into these as well. You know, they're just really simple little things. Okay, and then I'm just going to start on there where I stopped. Lock stitch that down. You can take that pin down, and you do want to kind of press it down so that your wadding's out of the way while you're stitching. Stitch all the way across. That's there. Just lock that off. No, actually, I'm going to come up that side a little bit because I missed where it joined. There we go. There you go, and then give it a good wiggle. Oh, they smell lush. They smell really nice. Just chop off those ends like that. Get rid of all those. Oh, actually, I'll tidy those threads up later. And you've got a little hanging house, which smells amazing. Okay, so I've got two there. I can just hang those up, put them in the wardrobe, so like my clothes and all smell nice, or just tuck them in. You don't have to make them hang. You could just tuck them in your drawers and stuff, couldn't you? So nice and easy with felt, because you've got very little, you know, you could just do them with scraps of fabric like this, put some interfacing on it maybe, and just do them with scraps of fabric. Use pinking shears so that they don't fray too much, but nice and cute and easy like that. But I thought we could have a play with some free motion as well. So I've just got a scrap of white fabric here. Okay, I've put some interfacing on the back because it's always better when you use interfacing for free motion. And I'm going to do exactly the same again. So I'm going to draw out a house. In fact, actually, where's my rotary cutter? Let's just do this quickly with the with the ruler. So anybody having a chat? Who's commenting away there? Anybody telling me anything?
Carolyn said, sorry, my son's fiance asked me to make a ring cushion for the wedding.
Oh, nice.
Ring box. This method is pretty much what I was going to do.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, go for it, Han. That sounds really nice. There we go. So I'm just cutting. Oh, no, I'm not cutting it out, am I? I want to free motion it first. Duh. Right, okay, we're free motioning this piece. I can keep that one for the back. But what I wanted to do, that's why I was going to draw around it, was because I want a bigger piece in order to be able to draw into. That was the plan. Just cut it all up like an idiot. Here we go. So I'm giving myself a guideline for my free motion embroidery. I tell you what, this heat's addled my brain the last few days. Okay, like that. And we're going to do the same again. We're going to put a little house, a little roof on. So what have I got here in my scraps? What do we like? Actually, is that big enough? There we go. There's a little scrap of that one. Do a little navy one. Okay, just iron the crease out, and then I want to cut one of those out. So let's get that. Where should we do it? There? Should we do it there? Because that pattern would work quite well, wouldn't it? See, I'm starting to get fussy with it now. Anyone else there chattering away? Anybody else telling me anything?
Not yet.
Not yet, no?
Not yet.
You right?
Yeah, just I think the comments are coming up for a second.
No. Do you want my phone to see if the comments are coming up?
No, sorry, we'll just pop it in. Sara said the kit's on the website.
The kits are on the website, yes. Yeah, I put them on earlier. Yeah. I'm going to use my fabric glue again, just to put that, just to hold that little roof in place. I'm going to pop him slightly away from the edge I've drawn. Ooh, just a little bit further up than that, I think. There we go, like that. So I've put that, just hold that in place. And then I need another little door, don't I? So what should we have as a bit of a door? Oh, there we go. We'll have a bit of a yellow door this time.
Linda Warlord said, hi, I just want to say hi. I found you yesterday following my hubby bought me a sewing machine for my birthday.
Oh, amazing.
Love the shop and everything, and got everything I needed.
Oh,
just
lovely.
Perfect.
Cool. Cool. I'm glad you joined us, and glad you're enjoying everything. That's fabulous. So I've popped a little roof on, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the back of this door, just to make a little door. Okay, like that, just to prep it up. And I'm just going to have one little window on this one, so I'm going to just pop a little window in there, I think, like that. Okay, so maybe have a bit of a doorknob on this one as well. So I'm going to take you through how to change over your foot and everything for free motion. So we're going to go over to the sewing machine. So your free motion foot may look something like that. Okay, so it's the one that's got the funny spring on it. Okay, because the foot is going to be able to bounce up and down like that. Okay, sometimes they're a full circle here, and then sometimes they've got like a long silver bar on the top as well, depending on your brand of machine. Okay, so you have to take the elbow off with this one. Okay, so the elbow, hang on, let me just get this in the right place. Hang on, I've got the wrong tool. Hang on, where's my screwdriver? No, actually, that one will do. There's the screwdriver. Picked up the wrong tool. There we go. So you're going to drop the elbow off this one. So the elbow is that piece there that holds your feet on. Okay, so but you need to take that bit off with your free motion. Okay. And the other thing is you need to drop your feed dogs. And I know we've talked about this before, but there'll be new people that haven't done this before with us. So on my machine, I've got a switch back here. Okay. So all I need to do to drop my feed dogs is just flip that switch, and that means the feed dogs are no longer engaged, which means I can then move my fabric in any direction that I want. Sometimes you get a little plate that covers the feed dogs, depending on your type of machine. One quick tip, and I know I've told you this guys before, but when you want your feed dogs to go back up, okay, if you just turn the switch that way and then start sewing, your feed dogs won't work. You have to, and I'm going to hold on to the thread, you have to do a full turn, manual turn, with your wheel on the side of your machine in order to re-engage those. Okay, that's for almost all Brothers. It may be different on other machines, but certainly on Brothers you need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to disengage those feed dogs. Back on. Okay, want to put the foot on. Okay, now normally I would turn my machine off to do this, but light and everything, I'm keeping it on so you guys can see. You can see I've got this little bar here, okay, at the top of the foot. That needs to sit over the needle bar, which is up here. Okay, so I'm going to clamp that in, back in like that, and make sure that that is over there, and then I can tighten it back up. Okay, and again, usually, it's going to be shook around a lot, so make sure that that's nice and tight. Okay, I also dropped my stitch length down. I dropped my stitch length down to about 0.5, 0.6, because I'm going to be controlling it. A lot of people don't. They like to keep it up at like the 2.5. I prefer the look of it when it's down low. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use these lines, and we're just going to do some free motion into this one. Okay, the whole point of free motion embroidery is that it's supposed to look a little bit messy. Okay, it's supposed to look sketchy, like you've kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, you want to be, you know, neatish, you don't want to just scribble all over it. But if you imagine I was drawing this little house out, okay, just freehand, my lines wouldn't be perfectly straight. They would be slightly wobbly, and you'd go over them a couple of times, wouldn't you, to kind of get the shape that you want. That's the kind of idea that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to drop my needle in and then bring it back out so that I can bring that bobbin thread up to the top. Okay, that does help with like nesting and things getting stuck and things. Okay, so make sure those threads are under the needle like that. Let me just get right in front of the machine with my foot. Okay, now I can, normally we sew like this, don't we? We just sew that way. Okay, it goes away from us. But with free motion, I can now move that 360 degrees any way I want. So I'm just going to start drawing into this, and that's what you're doing. You're drawing with the machine. Now I'm controlling the speed and where it's going. Okay, so when I want to go along this bit here, instead of stopping and pivoting, I'm just going to drag it the way I want it to go. Okay, so I'm just going to work along here. Ooh, see, I'm now going a bit fast for the space that I'm doing. Okay, and I'm going to go back up this side like that, and you can just draw into this. Okay, down there like that. So I want to get to where that roof is there. In fact, where's a little pin? I'll just hold that down when I get to the roof, because it's not quite stuck. There we go, like that, and then I can drag it along the side of the roof like that, and back down the other side. Okay, so go at whatever speed feels comfortable to you. It does work better if you're going a little bit faster. Okay, you've got to be a bit brave with it. Okay, so I'm going to go back down this way like this. Be a bit brave and just go for it. And then I'm going to go up round the door like that. Attach that door in. I'm going to go back up the other way just to give it a bit more of a sketchy look. Like that. And I want to do that door handle, so I'm going to make a circle for a door handle. And I don't care that I've got that little line, joining in there. I could have stopped if I wanted to and carried into it, but it's part of the look. It's part of that idea of free motion, is it? That old game that you used to do where you draw something without ever taking your pen off the pencil off the paper. Okay, like that. So I'm going to go across and do my little window now. Ooh, see. There we go. I'm going to draw my window in like that. I'll go across that way, just give myself a bit of a window all the way around. So you can see I'm going relatively fast, but not like super speedy. Okay, and then I want to come along the bottom of the roof, make sure everything's attached. Back we go again, just put that in. Back back up the side of the roof. Ooh, got a bit wonky there, never mind. It all adds to the character of this little one. Okay, like that, and come back down to where we finished. Okay, I could maybe change my colour out now and do some little flowers and stuff, do some doodling and all into this, okay? But that's enough for now. That's enough just to sort of show you the show you how to do it, okay? So I'm gonna just give that a press now, get rid of all those lines, okay, like that. Get rid of that little bit there, like that, okay. And then I'm going to cut him out, and I'm going to cut it out. In fact, actually, if I fold, can I fold that over? Can I get both of them out at once? So, just about. Oh, it will actually. There we go. Look, I'm going to be real mega lazy, and I'm going to cut the front and the back out at the same time with the embroidery scissors. Ow, that was hot. That got hotter than I thought it was going to. There we go. Just pin that in, and we're going to cut this out again. You could cut it out straight, or you can cut it out with pinking shears, but I'm going to cut it out with pinking shears. There we go, like that, up like that. But you could, you could do them for like Halloween. You could do little spooky houses and stuff, couldn't you? Like that, and then down that side just to give it a finished look. There we go. And then I've got my back in front, cut it once, and I've free motioned into it. Okay, but like I was saying, you could play around with these. You could then, change colours maybe, if you wanted to, and then, draw some flowers or something in, or, whatever you like really. You could put another window in, etc. If you don't like it, just tear it off, but give yourself those guidelines, okay? And then I would do exactly the same as I did with the other little one. I put a little bit of ribbon in there. I would then just, you could use the free motion again, stitch up those lines again, like that, stuff it, and then go across the bottom, okay? So yeah, so I just a couple of different ways of doing it. It gives it a slightly different look. It gives it a slightly more, maybe, I know, what's the word? Not homemade look, because I hate that expression, homemade.
Rustic?
More rustic, yeah. Maybe more rustic look. Yeah, good shout. So any questions or comments there?
Karen, instead, I did drew a door. It looks like almost like a painting.
Ah. What, you drew the door and it looks like a painting? That's cool. But yeah, it's but that's the whole idea of free motion, is you're drawing with the, or is it you drew it as in our drew? Anybody else there in the chat?
Jean said, great little project.
Yeah, just nice, really cute little things you could make. Again, if you're making for charities and all, they're really, little cheap and cheerful. I mean, that's literally tiny bits of scrap, tiny little bits of scrap to do. And I would, like I said, just put the piece of ribbon in, stuff it, and finish it like I did the other one. Anybody else there?
Heather says, I love these little houses. Thanks, Sara.
Yeah, you could number them. You could put like numbers and all on them, or a house name, or you could then free motion the back and write a message, or you could put another roof, and I know a little cat or something. Somebody's back garden. If you're making them for somebody, you could make them sort of more individual, couldn't you, and stuff. You could play around with them. So yeah, anything else there?
Nope, that's everything.
Lovely. So that was lavender scraps, little lavender bags made out of scraps. But like I said, mine aren't lavender. Mine are neroli, because I don't like lavender. I'll just very quickly before I go show you about taking this off and putting the elbow and all back on. Well, I would if I knew what I'd done with the elbow. What did I do with? Oh, there it is there. So when you're finished with your free motion, okay, just undo that screw again, like that. Take that foot off, like that. You're going to pop the elbow back in, so the screw's going to go through that little piece there. Just line that one back.
I don't get why it's called an elbow when it's touching feet. It should be called an ankle.
It should.
It would make more sense.
That's a good point. Maybe it is called an ankle. No, it's called the elbow, isn't it? It's an elbow because of the shape, I think, isn't it? It's that shape. But yeah, it should be an ankle, not an elbow, because it's attached to sewing feet. Good thinking, groups. Anybody else there? Anybody got any questions while I'm just reassembling my machine?
Linda says, thanks both. Nice refresher lesson.
Yeah, it's just, because it's not something we've done for a little while, so it's just nice to have a little play with the free motion. And I love free motion embroidery. It's something that I really enjoy doing. And then, so make sure I put my feed dog back up. So flip that switch back over. and then do my full turn with my wheel so they pop back up, and then I can put my foot back on, normal foot back on like that, and I'm ready to sew again. Okay, so it's not, you know, people get a bit scared about what that looks like and everything, so if you haven't had a go at it yet, definitely worth having a little play with. Okay, it's all scraps, it's not, it doesn't matter if it all goes wrong, does it? So anybody else there having a little chat? Anybody else got anything to tell me?
Sorry, Linda Warlaw said my first lesson, loved it and learned a lot.
Lovely, lovely, fabulous. Thank you for joining us. Remember, we've got the Gigglers page as well for any of those who are new here. We've got a social page called the Gigglers of A Giggle of Geckos, and it's our social page where you can all chat amongst yourselves and everything, and you know, post pictures and things like that of what you're making. So fab. I will see you tomorrow with the block of the week. I've got a proper block for you tomorrow, a proper traditional block for us to do, and then Sarah's back on Thursday with some racing. It's a ready steady race. So I will see you tomorrow, guys, at 1 o'clock. Take care. Bye.